listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries, as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm brought.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And boy, I hope today, I'm looking at our celebrations. We like to celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. And if you remember when we were chatting yesterday, holy cow, it was tough pickings yesterday. We had National Nonprofit Day, Massachusetts Day, I Love My Feet Day, Thrift Shop Day, Black Cat Appreciation Day. Not a darn thing that was worthwhile. Today, a little better. We've got National Fajita Day. I like that one. Mail Order Catalog Day. Does anybody do any mail order catalog anymore? It's all online. Yeah, today makes up for yesterday because we start off with Fajita Day, Ice Cream Pie Day, and Pinot Noir Day. So all of those are, you look at those look good. You got to go with the ice cream pie, though, on a day like this when it is hotter than Hades in Southern California. Right now, it's a scorcher. So we're going to be, it's a little warm out there. Let's check and see what the markets are doing. Dow Jones, as we report right now, or broadcast right now, earlier record this morning. And we're down 33 points. We're looking at the S&P 500 up 6.30. NASDAQ up 56.82. Oil up 42.66. Do we even want to look? One of the things we like to follow on Ron Siegel Radio is we got the oil prices, but what does that mean to you? What does that mean to me as far as when it converts into our gas prices? Because, that's where it's all at is we're always looking to see what's it mean in our gas tank. That's what we're spending our money on. So if we look, national average of a gallon of gasoline, that's not too bad. But then we come over and look at Calizuela. National average $2.17.6. National average $2.17.6. Calizuela, we are at $3.21.5. Ow! $3.21.5. Is there anybody higher than Calizuela? Well, yeah, Hawaii. They're at $3.23.2. Think about that. They've got to have the oil trucked over from Calizuela shipped by ocean over from Calizuela to Hawaii. And their gasoline prices are basically the same as we pay in Calizuela. And if you look around, every other state, even as far as the high-priced states or the higher-priced, are all in the mid-twos. But Calizuela, we like to bring up the top because we like the taxes. I know we like taxes. The reason I know we like taxes is because we vote in the same people over and over again who want to tax us more. Can you understand? Is there any logic to this? I mean, if you think about it, right, you got to look at it and say, what are you smoking? If you don't think that that's what you're going to get, right, it's just an issue of the way it is, right? I mean, we're going to continue to vote for the same people. Do you really think you're going to get anything different?
It is what it is.
Yeah, of course it is what it is. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the markets. The interest rates, the 10-year Treasury continuing to move down a little bit. We have been going up. I told you that. I didn't expect anything different. We're looking at it, though, as we continue moving our way back down on the interest rates. So that's a good news for many, many people taking a look at that number and where it's going. So now we're at 0.664. Not good for the seniors, but it is good for those who are thinking about that home financing strategy. And as I share with you on a regular basis, strategy beats rate every single time. Strategy beats rate every single time. So you got to make sure you get that strategy correct when you're going on there. Just throw that out there for you. See what else is going on in the markets. Actually, let's take a look at the news, because there is a lot of news going on in the marketplace. And today we had some very interesting news. Just because I think I'll save that for the Mortgage Minute later on. Let's take a look at the national news first. Let's see if I can find the national news here. What's going on? I've got my report. There it is. Well, we've got the Democrat infomercial. It fascinates me right now. We've got the coronavirus. I understand that. But with the coronavirus, does that mean you watch the president every day and he's doing a press conference, a news report, something along those lines? And we talk about that. And when we go and deal with the report, there's people there. We see them socially distanced. They're usually around a U-shaped table. Then we go and we look at the Democrat convention. The Democrat infomercial. And, to me, it's all pre-recorded. So I wonder if they even know what the news of the day is when they pre-recorded the infomercial. But there's nothing you can gain from it. What do you learn from the infomercial? I hope that the Republicans can figure out how to do this properly and have their speeches, their acceptance speeches. I could only stomach a couple of minutes of Michelle Obama's commentary and her infomercial yesterday, because you knew exactly what she was going to say before she got up there and said it. So why listen? Just throw that out there. Okay, let's take a look at what else we've got going on. The post office, that's the big ruse of the week, the next version. So we had the Russia collusion. That one failed. We had the Ukraine and the impeachment. That one failed, but did kill 160,000 Americans. Because Congress had their eye off the ball. The president had no help from Congress in dealing with the pandemic. Joe Biden still thinks that we shouldn't have shut down the country. Nancy Pelosi went out to get her Chinese food in Chinatown in San Francisco after that. But you watch and you see that now the latest one that they're going to try and use a ruse here is the post office. The Pelosi claiming the Trump administration does not want mail-in balloting, and he's going to sabotage the election through mail-in balloting. Currently, 6 states vote by mail. Let's see if you want to follow in the shoes of any of these states. Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Utah, Washington State, and now New Jersey. Now, New Jersey couldn't even get a city correct. They tried to do it in Trenton, in one city, and they had all kinds of fraud. They're going back and probably going to have to redo the whole ballot. And New Jersey, any one of the mob movies, those are all based on New Jersey. They've had corruption there since the War of 1812, probably. We want to do a mail-in ballot. So let's think about this for a second. If you won the lottery, would you mail your lotto ticket into the lotto board to claim your winnings, or would you want to take it there in person? I think you'd want to take it there in person. Now, I'm not saying anything against the mail carriers. They do what they're supposed to do. They work hard. I know some, and they are hard workers. But when you get above the local management level, what have they changed? What have they done to stop losing money? So if you say 95% of the time the mail gets it right, the 5% that'll change an election. Oh, yeah, that's what the Democrats want, is they can't win on the issues. Did you listen to the infomercial last night? They didn't talk about any issues at all. They don't talk about what their platform is. Bernie talked about the burn, but the Democrat Party didn't want the burn, but he continues to think they did. The bundlers, we call them ballot harvesting here in Calizuela. That'll be great for them to deal with in the mail-in balloting. Granny didn't get her ballot, didn't mail it in, didn't understand the ballot. Oh, okay, we'll take care of that for you, Granny. Post office, they lost $9 billion last year, and what does Pelosi want to do about it? We can't reform the post office because, well, we can't reform the post office. So she's going to call all of the House back to Washington because they need a 1 month break. You know, they can't work for a month in a row. So just throw that out there for you. They're going to all come back to Washington, cause some kind of a bill that's going to go nowhere. And she's promising mail-in balloting. Let me ask you this question. We can't stand in line to vote, but have you seen the lines at some of the coronavirus testing stations? Why don't we just vote at the testing stations? People will sit in line there for 4 or 5 hours. So why wouldn't they do that at a ballot location? Why don't we start mailing or voting early at the polling places? We might have to pay some people. There's a few unemployed people. Maybe we can pay them to work at the polling station. Social distance, only so many people at a time. That would work, wouldn't it? But no, the Democrats, why do they want to mail in the ballots and they don't want a voter ID? Can anybody answer that question for me? I'll wait. Yeah, they don't want that. They've got their own agenda. They figure that if they can't win fair and square, ballot harvest, mail the ballots. Wonder what that means. Okay, let's take a look at the polls right now. We can take it again that most of the polls are not accurate. Most of the polls are phony. I would say almost every one of them. But there's a big problem right now in polling because even the fake polls can't get their own agenda out there. So the ABC poll has Biden up by 11. NBC has Biden up by 9. CNN, they've got a problem because they've got Biden up by 4. The margin of error is almost 4. And in the CNN poll, it was 31% Democrats, 27% Republicans. So there's a spread there of 4. So you got a spread of 4. You've got a margin of error of 4, and Biden's only leading by 4. We got a problem, as they say at CNN.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, so that one there, the CNN poll probably is a tie. Now, Fox News. What's going on at Fox News? Well, you know that Fox News, 95% of Fox's audience are Trump supporters, and their poll shows Biden leading also. So CNN and Fox both have the same problem. They can't get their polls to say what they want them to say, and they know that they want it exactly as their supporters, as their audience wants. So don't know if any poll is accurate anymore. CNN polled 42% independents. 42% independents. Why would they have polled 42% independents? Leaning left, leaning right? I don't know. But why do you poll that many of the independents? NBC poll, 31 Democrat, 28 Republican. Moving right along here. Let's look at Pfizer. Pfizer says that they may have some kind of a vaccine by October. That's good news. A couple of speculation. A couple others say that they may have something earlier than Pfizer. All these polls get thrown out the window if there is a vaccine. I just speculate on that, but that's the way it looks. Internal polls, Minnesota, Wisconsin, very close for the president's reelection. Why do you think the president is out there yesterday? He was out there campaigning in that area. Just throw that out there for you. A lot going on here, Let's see what else is going on. Uprisings. Here's the big issue that may change the election because Portland, Minneapolis, Seattle, those uprisings are from a minor group of people. and they're not popular. You know, if you remember back, or if you read the history of Vietnam protests, that was a popular uprising. This is not popular, and they're starting to catch a clue that we've talked about on Ron Siegel Radio in the past. These are Marxist organizations, and now they're not hiding it. 71% of all the corporate money going to Black Lives Matter Global goes to the 3 women leaders of the group. Is that where they really want their money going? Did you know that? Just throw that out there. Vast majority of Americans are not rising up or marching in Portland, Oregon. Those are hardcore anarchists, and they may end up getting a fight on that one and see what's going on as far as in the election. They might find out that, hey, you know something, Main Street America, they're not into that. On the other side, they've got the Proud Boys. They run into Antifa in Kalamazoo, Michigan over the weekend. Yeah, we'll see what happens in that fight. There was a battle between them. They might kill each other if they think they can get away with it, and maybe they can. You know, it's hard to say because in certain areas, Portland, Oregon, the police are saying, you know something, why should we go and arrest people if the district attorney is not going to do anything about it? So Mike Schmidt is the district attorney prosecuting 10% of the cases. He's prosecuted 50 people out of 500. State police saying, hey, we're not going to go and stand there. We're not going to protect the buildings. We're not going to do these things if it's just a waste of our time. And then the governor comes out, Kate Brown. Well, this was a planned withdrawal contradicting the head of the Oregon State Police. Fascinating. 60 911 calls over the weekend to the Portland Police Bureau, not answered. Cops are in disarray out there because of the leadership from the elected officials. What are you going to do if you have someone breaking into your house? Why do you think gun sales are up? New York City, 51 people shot over the weekend, 6 killed. Chicago, 46 people shot, 5 killed. What's going on in these places? And this is another story that is fascinating. Kevin Kleinsmith pleading guilty to 1 count of making false statements in the Russian collusion investigation. Rachel Maddow, she was the queen of Russia collusion, did not mention it. Then on the Sunday shows, 5 Sunday news programs, each 1 hour. ABC this week, George Stephanopoulos didn't cover it. NBC's Meet the Press, nope, they didn't get around to it. CBS, Face the Nation, no. CNN, State of the Union, and even Fox News Sunday did not mention it. Fascinates me what they're talking about, being that they are not going to be talking about the news of the day. It's the Russia issue, I guess, is old news, so they're not going to talk about it. We talk about it on Ron Siegel Radio because I know that you need to know what's going on in the marketplace. What is happening that's driving our economy? What's driving our country? Just throw that out there for you, because if you didn't get it here at Ron Siegel Radio, where are you going to get that news? Where are you going to find out what is going on? And we will bring that to you as you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, sellers returning to the housing market, the Mortgage Minute, and a featured house of the day. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information. and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990. So we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. In the Mortgage Minute today, being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star. They've got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 95 points. I'm sorry, down 57 points. It just updated on me. NASDAQ is up 58 points. The S&P 500 up 674. 10-year Treasury down 2. Mortgage-backed securities. The bond is up 19 basis points, which means interest rates are going down. Broken through a technical barrier. That would be the 25-day moving average. Hopefully we'll stay above that 25-day moving average and see if we can get up there and try and test our next level of resistance, which is quite a ways up. So we're hoping to see what we can do on that front. But all of those numbers, those are the same ones I tell you every day, are the numbers that you can actually find right there on the super secret website, and that would be google.com. What you're not going to find on that super secret website is the why of what's going on. So the stock prices, they are higher on the heels of a stronger than expected earnings from Home Depot and Walmart. Now, think about that. When I talk about stock prices, we're generally talking about the S&P 500. Sometimes we deal with it based on what the Dow is doing, but the Dow is controlled heavily by just a couple of different stocks. So we're constantly looking and seeing, okay, what is it? Which ones are we going to be dealing with at the given time? Peter Bookfar shared some interesting stats from Stephanie Pomvoy of Macro Mavens on the impact of government checks, a $680 billion decline in wages and salaries, and a $174 billion drop in other income was more than offset by $2.24 trillion in transfer payments for a net income gain of $1.386 trillion. This helps to explain why consumer spending is higher in the middle of a pandemic than when unemployment rate was 3.5%, and why without it, will have a profound economic impact if not refilled to some extent, which we know we're going to find something. The politicians are going to want something to happen there. In economic news, housing starts in July rose 22.6%, which was much stronger than estimates. Year over year starts are now up 23.4% from being down 4%. Gained mostly in multifamily starts, however, but single-family starts were up a solid 8.2%. Annualized single-family starts are around 1 million units. Permits were up 18.8% month over month and 9.4% year over year. Single-family permits made up almost all of the gain, rising 17%. Even with the increase in starts and permits, supply remains extremely tight. And since builders were not putting up homes due to COVID-19, it'll be very hard for them to keep up with the demand. According to Freddie Mac, the U.S. housing market would need to add 1.6 million single-family housing units per year to keep up with the demand. Add to that the increase in building materials like lumber, and it's likely we're going to continue to see a big imbalance, and it will be supportive of home prices. So let's take a look at where the numbers were. Permits up 1.495 million, starts 1.496 million. The completions 1.28 million, that's 3.6% month over month increase and 1.7% year over year. Fannie Mae now expects total origination volume of loans to hit $3.4 trillion for 2020, the highest annual origination volume since 2003, when the total volume was $3.7 trillion. Now, I want to make sure that you are aware, because if you are a CNBC listener, Diana Olick goes through some of these numbers and generally will give you incomplete or inaccurate information. She doesn't want you to see anything good on the housing market. I have no idea why. Just cannot figure out why it is that significantly, more often than not, she'll tell you about all the bad stuff going on in the housing market, shares nothing of the good stuff. I can't figure out why that happens, but it seems to happen on a very, very regular basis. And with it happening so often, you have to wonder if it's intentional. I just throw that out there for you to contemplate. Is it intentional, or is it? I don't know. I can't tell you why she does it that way, but it just fascinates me how frequently that happens. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we got some real estate talk. Sellers are returning to the housing market. We've got a featured home by Robert LaBianca. He submitted that one to us today. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part: you still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest, SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. The Digest, it's got some great information in there for you. The Digest will tell you precisely what the market believes about your property, what the county recorder knows about your property, and all of that is just for you. It's in there all the time, and it's free from Ron Siegel Radio. In today's housing market, it can be a big challenge for buyers to find homes to purchase, as the number of houses for sale is far below the current demand. Now, however, we're seeing sellers slowly starting to come back into the market, a bright spark for potential buyers. Javier Vivas, Director of Economic Research at Realtor.com, explains, and I quote, "Seller confidence has been improving gradually after reaching its bottom in mid-April, and now it appears to have reached an important recovery milestone. After 5 long months, sellers are back in the housing market. While encouraging, the improvement to new listings is only the first step in the long road to solving low inventory issues keeping many buyers at bay. Even with the number of homes coming into the market, the available inventory is well below where it needs to be to satisfy buyer interest. The National Association of Realtors, NAR, reports, quote, total housing inventory at the end of June totaled 1.57 million units, up 1.3% from May, but still down 18.2% from 1 year ago, 1.92 million. Unsold inventory sits at a 4.4 month supply at the current sales pace, down from both 4.8 months in May and from 4.3 month figure recorded in June 2019, unquote. Houses today are selling faster than they're coming to the market. That's why we only have inventory for 4 months at the current sales pace, when in reality, we need inventory for 6 months to keep up. But as mentioned, sellers are starting to return to the game. Realtor.com explains, quote, the housing supply component, which tracks growth of new listings, reached 101.7, up 4.9 points over the prior week, finally reaching the January growth baseline. The big milestone in new listings growth comes as seller sentiment continues to build momentum. After constant gradual improvement since mid-April, seller confidence appears to be reaching an important milestone. The temporary boost in new listings comes as the summer season replaces the typical spring home buying season. More homes are entering the market than typical for this time of year. So why is this good for sellers? A good time to enter the housing market is when the competition in your area is low, meaning there are fewer sellers than interested buyers. You don't want to wait for all the other homeowners to list their houses before you do, providing more options for buyers to choose from. Supply and demand, boys and girls. With sellers starting to get back into the market after 5 months of waiting, if you want to sell your house for the best price possible, now's a great time to do so. It can be challenging to find a home in today's low inventory environment. If more sellers are starting to put their houses up for sale, there will be more homes for you to choose from, providing a better opportunity to find the home of your dreams while taking advantage of the affordability that comes with historically low mortgage rates. The bottom line, while we still have a long way to go to catch up with the current demand, inventory is slowly starting to return to the market. If you're thinking of moving this year, let's chat so you're ready to make your move when the home of your dreams comes up for sale. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage when you're ready for that next mortgage. Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. Again, 800-306-1990. And get on the tools that we give you for free from Ron Siegel Radio. The Digest, SLT Home Digest, that's a free tool for you. MySoCalLender.com is basically your own private, no advertising option to get all the information you want about new properties and the existing properties that are for sale in your neighborhood. It comes to you right away. You can set it up to either get a listing, an update every day, or as they come to market, they'll send you an email or a text, however you want it. Again, it's free, and there's no obligation. There's no intrusion. You're not going to get harassed by all kinds of people calling you as you would with some of the services. So all you have to do is just go there, set up the parameters of what you want, get the information you want, use it however you want. Because right now we know for certain, with 100% certainty, that homes are more affordable than they've been in years. Why do we know that? Well, home prices are appreciating. When we hear prices are going up, it's normal to think a home will cost more as the trend continues. The way housing market is positioned today, however, low mortgage rates are actually making homes more affordable even as prices rise. Here's why. According to the Mortgage Monitor report from Black Knight, while home prices have risen for 97 consecutive months, July's record low mortgage rates have made purchasing the average priced home the most affordable it's been since 2016, unquote. How's that possible? Well, Black Knight's going to tell us. Quote, as of mid-July, it required 19.8% of the median monthly income to make the mortgage payment on the average priced home purchase, assuming a 20% down payment, 30-year mortgage. That was more than 5% below the average of 25% from 1995 to 2003. This means it currently requires $1,071 monthly payment to purchase the average price home, which is down 6% from the same time last year, despite the average price increasing in value by more than $12,000 during the same time period. In fact, buying power is now up 10% year over year, meaning the average home buyer can afford nearly $32,000 more home than they could at the same time last year while keeping their mortgage payment the same. Remember, that's the average, the national average numbers. In California, we're going to be a little bit higher than that. So, yes, your monthly payment is going to be more, but when you look at the averages, they're going to be fairly similar. So your buying power is going to be up because the interest rates are down. Great news for many buyers who were unable to purchase last year or earlier in the spring due to the slowdown from the pandemic. By waiting a little longer, they can now afford 10% more home than they could have a year ago while keeping their monthly mortgage payment unchanged. With mortgage rates hitting all-time lows 8 times this year, it's now less expensive to borrow money, making homes significantly more affordable over the lifetime of the loan. Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, shares what low mortgage rates mean for affordability. In July, house buying power got a big boost as the 30-year fixed mortgage rate made history by moving below 3%. That drop in the mortgage rate from 3.23% in May to 2.98% in July increased house buying power by nearly $15,000. So we've been showing that to you all the time. The bottom line, if you're thinking about making a move, great time to take advantage of the affordability that comes with such low mortgage rates. Whether you're thinking of purchasing your first home or moving into a new one and securing a significantly lower mortgage rate than you may have on your current house. Again, if you want to get the information, let's chat. We'll talk about it. We'll set up a strategy. I've told you over and over again, strategy beats rate every time. And this is no different than any other time. Again, you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got that featured home. Robert LaBianca shares that with us. Looks like a great property. I like the idea, and there might be some extra benefits to it that maybe nobody really talks about when they look at these types of homes. We'll talk about it on Ron Siegel Radio. Again, you can reach out to me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership. What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to REAP@RonSiegelRadio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the featured home segment today. Being brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. Great tools there for you to get that new home. I just want to share that. I'm trying to get this thing to pop up so I can show you the information on this great property. Again, it's brought to you by our friend Robert LaBianca. He is in La Quinta, or he's in Palm Desert, I think is where Robert is. We'll look at the property here first, and then we'll talk to you more about Robert and his team. So I love looking at some of these different properties. This one's 54750 Inverness Drive in La Quinta, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2 3/4 baths as well. New listing, PGA West Stadium, exceptionally well maintained. Legends, Plan 31 with a family room, a morning room, atrium. Magnificent southwest lake views, located on the 5th hole of the Pete Dye Stadium course. Original owner, seldom lived in. Don't miss it. The floor plan has the exceptional master suite with enormous bath, walk-in closet, well separated from the other bedrooms. Step-down living room, family room, kitchen. Beautiful southern views, lake and golf course, home of the original Bob Hope Desert Classic. $549,000 is the price of this property. If you put 10% down, you're looking at about a $3,588 a month. That's principal, interest, taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance on the 10% down program. If you're looking at a 30-year with 20% down, you're looking at about $3,200 a month. And if you're looking at a 15-year loan, it's about $4,000 a month. I'm showing all of that information right there on the screen. I've got a few pictures on the screen for you as well. Again, remember, I got to share the information, being that I do have a loan license, NMLS 217037. That's on there as well. But take a look at the property. Take a look at the view if you're watching on RonSiegelRadio.tv or on our KMET AM 1490 feed, any of the social media channels. That is the featured home segment, again, brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. And if you want, we've got all the information for Robert LaBianca. All you have to do is give me a call. Again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So yesterday we were chatting a bit about some terms in the real estate world, and we didn't get to finish any of the terms that we were talking about. I always like to give you that information, educating you on some of the terms that are involved in real estate, because real estate does get quite a few terms and it can be kind of confusing. That's the issue right there. So we're going to go and we're going to get that for you and just give you some of the other terms. And we went through a lot of them yesterday, and I want to get through some more of them today. We might take a little bit of other times also, because real estate does have some terms, some acronyms. The people in the industry regularly go through and they'll just talk about some of these things as if the whole world understands what they mean. Escrow. So escrow can be one of two different meanings. Escrow is actually that third party that acts as the referee for the home program. On the other side of it, you could have escrows, which is also referred to as impounds. So if you are going to make your taxes and your insurance payment as part of your monthly payment, that's called an impound account, or they escrow that money to make those payments on your behalf. So the loan servicer is going to take that money from your payment, and they're going to put it into an escrow account. They're going to hold that for you. Then in November and in March, when taxes are due, I know most people pay them in December and April, but they're due in November and March. When those are due, the loan servicer has that money already set aside. You've been making that payment every month. They've got the money set aside, and they'll send that payment in on your behalf. Similarly, they're going to do that with the insurance of the property. So you're going to have home insurance on your loan. They're going to do the same thing with your home insurance. They're going to make that payment on your behalf, and they'll just send that right in, and there you go. You've got it taken care of. Now, when you look at the difference, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, the difference between your down payment and cash to close. So the difference between the down payment and the cash to close is the down payment is that percentage you are making as a down payment. 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%, whatever it is. So on a $500,000 house, you make a 20% down payment. That's $100,000. And then you get a bill at the closing of escrow that says your cash to close is $110,000, $115,000. Why is the difference? Well, the difference is going to come from two different numbers. One of them is going to be your prepaid expenses. That's going to be when we set up that impound account that I talked to you about just a minute ago. That impound account is going to have anywhere from 2 to 9 payments of taxes that you have to pay at the time to set up that account. So there's enough money in there to make that payment when the time comes. So you could have, like I say, 2 to 9 payments of taxes that you have to collect. That's going to be part of that number. Then you're going to have to deal with the insurance. Every property is going to have, I should say, every property with a loan and anybody else that is smart will have home insurance, homeowner's insurance. And that homeowner's insurance will then be a number that you can deal with. That's going to be 12 months of insurance. Got to pay for a year in advance. And then if you have an impound account, you're going to have 2 months to start building that balance, that reserve up, so that the payment can be made when it's due. That's also called prepaid expenses. Then you have to deal with the loan, if you have a loan on the property. So the loan on the property is going to be dealing with the mortgage. Mortgages are paid in arrears. So you're going to pay, when you make your September mortgage payment, that is for the interest that accrued for the month of July. So if you closed in the month of August, if you closed in July, then you've got the number of days from the day you closed until the end of the month. So say you close on the 15th, you've got 16 days or 15 days of interest, depending upon the exact day you close. That interest is collected because then you're not going to have a payment on the 1st of August. Your first payment will be in September. So that is going into prepaid. So you've got prepaid interest, prepaid insurance, prepaid taxes. Then you've got whatever loan costs there are. So you're going to have title, escrow, appraisal, any underwriting fees, lender fees, government transfer fees, HOA fees. All of those things go into loan costs. So you've got the two different issues to deal with right there. So you've got the costs and prepaids. Prepaids are things that you're going to pay anyway. So when you have somebody say that, well, that's a lot of money, well, you're going to pay those taxes one way or the other. So think about that part of it when you're dealing with the entire program. It's going to pay me now, pay me later. The costs are things you're never going to recoup. Title insurance. Now, if you've got a loan, you're going to have two types of title insurance. You're going to have buyer's insurance and lender's insurance. The buyer's title insurance is something that the seller will get to prove to you or to document or ensure you that you are getting clear title on the property. There's no other liens or encumbrances on the property other than what's been disclosed to you. Then you're going to have lender's insurance. That's to protect the lender, to make sure that they are covered, because you've got to have some. When the buyer protects you, you're then protecting your lender. Just throw that into there for you. Interest rate versus APR. This is the big ruse, and it's a government issued, government mandated, so nobody can change that. But the government says that we need to tell you what the APR is. So when we looked at that featured home today, and we could see that what the interest rates were based on those payments we talked about, The interest rate was 3% on that the 20% down 30-year fixed loan, but the APR was 3.107. The difference in those two is the costs to obtain a loan built into the interest rate and amortized out. So that's where that comes in. Now, the problem there is it's supposed to be just the costs of the loan, but many lenders kind of fudge on what they put into that number, so you don't always know. Just throw that out there for you. We'll continue with different costs as we move along. And as always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean, who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.